I thought you were going to give us that little intro of the Twitter pattern side.
Yeah.
We're going to open these not together because I want to. Okay.
Let's do it.
I usually am a crack it open. Welcome to the B side of the Sinner and Saint. I guess you should know what you're listening to.
Who knows what we're doing?
Who knows what we're doing? Well, I was sitting in the room with my wife the other day, and she opened a Diet Coke, and I swear, and I don't swear a lot. I mean, not enough to make you swear.
I do are swearing.
I don't think so. I think the podcast is otherwise. But she opened her Diet Coke, and it took her 3 seconds for it to do its full, like all the way around, and I'm like, what are you opening over there?
So it was like click.
It was the longest opening. It was so dramatic.
Wow.
Cilantro.
Cilantro really fitting today.
Happy, yes, we get there. I hope you're wearing. Neither of us are wearing green.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Lack of production. Producer Pat didn't do it right.
Producer Pat is on the hot seat.
Yeah, true. Not doing it well. It's a Pat. It's St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Welcome into the Sinner and Saint B side. I think we've said that, but this is what we are doing. We are a podcast that's been going for multiple episodes. On the holidays, we do the B side. We randomly select
the holidays we choose.
Some holidays. Yeah.
The holidays
we
don't
like all the holidays. And some.
My name's on this one, so we got to pick it.
Yep.
What's your holiday? What's your day? Do we get it when? Been
probably November 1st.
Been a while.
No, it's all yeah, all Saints Day. November 1st.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Yeah. I do like this holiday a lot, though. I'm a big fan of St. Patrick's Day for really just the same reason. So my favorite holiday.
So we like commercialized, fabricated holidays. Certain ones, Valentine's Day to St. Patrick's Day. Just to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So my favorite holiday is 4th of July, and the reason it's my favorite holiday has nothing to do with Independence Day, has nothing to do with fireworks or history or anything like that. It's just like 4th of July is a good time. You might end up at a pool. You might go on the river for a while.
All the stuff.
But it's like
everything's possible.
You know you're going to be with some friends. You know you're going to have a cookout. You know it's just going to be fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I really like St. Patrick's Day, because it's just going to be a good time. You're probably going to end up at a bar. You're almost always March Madness is happening right around St. Patrick's Day.
Oh yeah.
So you've got this thing.
Never thought about that.
You've got the March Madness fun. And it's just kind of like spring is finally starting to creep in.
Get it back together.
Yeah. So
although
it's a good kind of looking forward holiday, I think.
Yeah. Well, here we are, and we're not drinking. We don't have an Irish lager again. Lack of production. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Prepared. We're having a Narraganset today. You know the fame of Narraganset?
Nope.
It was the beer they were drinking in Jaws. When they're sitting on the boat getting drunk, they're drinking Narraganset.
Yes, that is vaguely familiar now.
Yeah.
I was going to go into. But I want to remain from the topic.
And what was the rest of that? I forget. Can you? You've got some things to discuss here. You've got so much enlightenment.
I'm not. I do have a St. Patrick's Day trivia quiz for you.
I love it.
You want to do it?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I love trivia. I may not be good at it, but
do you know much about St. Patrick? Most don't.
I don't.
Vaguely.
St. Patrick was hired to get all the snakes out of Ireland.
He was an exterminator.
He was, and I know that because I've got a St. Patrick's Day shirt that's got like a Pope looking face on it that just says, snakes are gone.
Snakes are gone. Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's do it. Okay. Well, I got a few. Some of these are easy. What's the trifoliate plant that's the national symbol of Ireland?
The leprechaun.
The leprechaun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got to be a leprechaun.
Yeah.
There's the clover.
No.
The tri-leaf.
I'm looking for a specific name here.
A three-leaf clover?
Nope.
Because it represented the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Well, that takes away one trivia question.
Oh, crap.
That,
I'm working ahead.
He didn't
Oh,
use that.
no, I'm sorry.
So,
Okay.
three-leaf clover would be the description. The name is actually the shamrock.
Oh, the shamrock.
The shamrock. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you were there, but.
Yeah, and I knew shamrock, but like seriously, if you'd given me 10 guesses, I probably wasn't going to get the shamrock. I would have been like, no, the 4 minus 1 leaf clover.
Right. Yeah. What is the national? Yeah. What was the national holiday of Ireland? Or the national color?
I'm going to go green. But because their flags are green, white, and orange.
Right. Yes. That changed, but originally, take another guess.
I mean, orange feels like it's right there, but it feels like it's too easy.
Blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
That was the original
Ireland color. Yeah. They changed
why.
it later.
You know why?
A lot of depression.
The
famine was rough.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Did you know? I just learned this the other day. I had no idea. I thought the Great Potato Famine was like the 1910s or 1910s. I had no idea that was occurring during World War II. They're like the potato famine was like the 40s.
Yeah, it was late. It was later.
And I don't know why. I always just thought like, oh well, I don't know. That's when my grandparents came over, so it must have been
right.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, so yeah.
Not so.
Yeah, sorry. That wasn't compelling.
It's okay. The movie The Leprechaun.
Mm-hmm.
You're familiar with it?
I do.
Was kind of the start of two Hollywood.
Jennifer Aniston.
And.
One of the Wilson brothers.
No. I'm gonna think of The Leprechaun.
Oh, who played the Leprechaun?
Uh-huh.
I don't know who played the Leprechaun.
Warwick Davis.
I don't know who that human is.
Became Willow. He was.
I never saw Leprechaun either.
You should. It's a nice little B-side. There's like 6 Leprechaun movies.
I know that. I know that. Because sometimes I'll just be channel surfing. I'm like, really, more Leprechaun movies? And then I'm like, it felt like Chucky to me. Only with the Leprechaun.
Warwick Davis was the first big little person. So he was in the Star Wars. I think he either was inside of R2-D2 or he was an Ewok. I can't remember. Or he may have been both.
Okay.
But he served in that role. But he was been in Willow and did a number of other things. So when you see him, you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy. I know him. You never saw Willow?
I never did. No.
Oh man, it's a great kind of epic movie, and they just did a sequel recently.
Like a remake or a
sequel? Okay. Brought a sequel back to the stage, and he started it again. Yeah. So
he's still alive.
He is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. The wooden walking stick. What's the wooden walking stick that a leprechaun carries? I'll give you options.
Okay.
To make it easier. The Maquila, the Shillelagh, the Alpenstock, or the Kevin.
Shillelagh.
Oh, nice job. Nice job. You're like, that's the one that...
I knew that word, and I was able to connect it to walking stick.
Okay.
So the multiple choice, though, was clutch.
Yeah.
I wasn't
and do you know, it's supposedly, this isn't trivia, supposedly that's made out of ash, I think.
Oh.
Is what I've heard.
Okay.
And that's the staff that St. Patrick carries when you ever see iconography.
Yeah.
He's got a staff that was made out of ash, and that was used to help scare the snakes out. And of course, that's more tradition, legend, than reality.
Yeah. Oh no, that's it. I read it on Wikipedia.
It's true. It's true. St. Patrick. Do you know his birth name? I'll give you.
Just Patrick.
I'm gonna give you multiple choice. Maywin Sukat, Patricius, Patrick Celestine, or Beninja.
I'm going to go Celestine because he was Italian, wasn't he?
No. I don't think so.
For some reason, and again, this is my rusty knowledge.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it was my thought process is, or my memory, I guess, is that he was either Spanish or Italian, and he came to Ireland on like as a missionary kind of.
Okay.
And they had this snake problem, and they're like, we're not about this religion, but we do have the snake problem. So if you get these snakes out, we're willing to listen to your pitch, and then that's how they became Catholic. As a nation. Maybe a little fuzzy. Some of that's maybe in there, but not clean. I think his father was a priest. He was kidnapped and enslaved in Ireland. Okay.
And then he escaped at the age of, I think he was captured and held captive for, I think about 2 years. I think when he was 16, he got away, got on a ship, left. That's when he came to his own faith, and then was called back to go to the Celtic lands as a missionary.
Okay.
And Rome did not want to send him. They didn't think that the savages were worth it.
Yeah.
But he wanted to go back and minister to his captors and make a difference there. Yeah.
And then eat the snakes.
And eat the snakes. Yeah. The first bratwurst we started there. Yeah. And of course the first St. Patrick's Day parade was held in what city?
Boston.
Close. New York City, and it was in 1737. So before.
And it was not held in New York City.
Well, in
New
Amsterdam. Yes. Fix the trivia. Come on, internet. What good are you for? This was the softball, but where does the pot of gold at the in regards to the rainbow? In the bank.
It's in the vault at the bank.
Yeah. If you capture a leprechaun, they have to give you that gold.
Yeah. Or 3 wishes.
No, that's that's a different holiday.
That's my bad.
Oh, feel better.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're welcome, audience. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold, so you're gonna get some sniffles, some throat clears.
Corned beef and cabbage is traditional St. Patrick's Day meal. Do you like corned beef and cabbage?
I do like corned beef and cabbage.
I do too.
And I actually, a lot of Irish also they make that on New Year's Day as well.
Yeah.
And so, I have a friend who's a very good cook and frequently does corned beef and cabbage on New Year's Day, and I'm in.
It stinks. I hated when my parents would cook it growing up. I was like, I am not eating that. In sauerkraut, like.
I thought you meant that after, because the aftermath stinks. So that's a real.
The cabbage does a number on the.
It's a real Dutch oven situation.
You don't hear a lot about the cabbage cleanse. That would really. That would do a number.
I gotta be honest. I think corned beef does it too. The greasy meat sometimes move up the old gas.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. You got me there.
Yeah. So you're right though. The corned beef cabbage diet, while high in calories,
it's gonna shoot right through you. Yeah, so it's like,
boy, it's not even an overnight stay. It's a stop by.
You're out. You got to be careful where you're eating that. Like.
Yeah. Do you like St. Patrick's Day? I know it's just this stupid arbitrary holiday that America is like good time to drink, but like do you enjoy it?
I would say I don't do anything. Like it's a day. So I try to wear green because I don't particularly care to get pinched. So I'm also colorblind, so I've worn. I don't have it today. I'm wearing the blue. I'm the traditional Irish.
You do know that's black, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Shut up. You don't know nothing.
I love you. I love it, but that thing's black. That is not.
That's what I said. Black. I'm wearing the
You can
black.
If you like.
No, that's okay.
None of them do.
I think you'll get flirty if I do that. So.
Right, I will. You better buckle up.
Not worth it. No, I don't care. My family, I think, would take or leave corned beef and cabbage. I tried smoking one once, thinking, that'd be a nice flavor. It completely removed all. Like it was like, there's no flavoring in here now. Yeah. I just learned how to ruin corned beef. Yep.
Yeah. It's like you take the brisket point to make pastrami, and then you're like, I'm not supposed to smoke this.
Don't do that.
Not what I'm supposed to do with
it. It's how to undo a good thing. Yeah.
No, we had a great St. Patty's Day last year. That was a lot of fun.
We were treated. Right?
We were treated. And just because of the way it happened, we did it again yesterday.
Yeah.
For this year. We took an iconic photo, which I'm willing to put in the show notes for anyone who'd like to see it.
Wow. Yeah.
Patrick and I have a friend who lives in Wisconsin.
Great friend. Yes.
And she had said, I want to see essentially us hugging, but really Patrick holding me in the air.
Wow.
We tried to do the Dirty Dancing pose.
Wow.
That was physically
my arm workout. I've not done.
The physics of that was more complicated than we understood.
It's like a bumblebee trying to fly. What is it? breaks the laws of physics when a hornet or something that's just like this shouldn't be happening. But it's happening.
Yep.
We couldn't do that.
A bumblebee. It's like tiny little wings and a big fat body. Yeah.
Not that that's reflective of you.
No. It was a magic moment, girl. And we sent her the photo. She loved it. She was very impressed.
Wow.
But yeah, we last night St. Patty's Day we were invited to a friend of ours sponsors an event where it's the first day of March Madness.
Yeah.
So you're watching the opening games at a place where it's all you can eat, all you can drink, and it's like a high-end.
It gets
steakhouse.
sloppy.
Yeah, it's a high-end steakhouse.
It gets sloppy.
So they just keep bringing you anything, as much as like you. It's the weirdest thing because
when we get to the episode, I have my center moment.
Oh man,
I just continued to gorge myself with alcohol and food.
And when you go to
snapshot of gluttony.
Yeah, when you go to a high-end steakhouse like these places, you're always so like you're indulging.
Yeah.
But you're indulging with some frugality.
Yeah.
You're not like, well, I'll just have all of it.
Yep.
And so it's such a counterintuitive thing to sit in a nice steakhouse and be like, oh no, I'll take four more of those. And how many drinks can I have at once? Oh, I can have as many. Okay, cool. Give me more.
What's is it the Monty Python scene? I don't know if you've seen this, where it's the big fat. Really? Oh my goodness! It's the big fat guy, and he's in a fancy restaurant. And he's in his tux, and he just keeps eating and eating, and then he eventually just explodes. Like,
no, I've never seen him. Wait,
it's kind of that.
I did see The Life of Brian. That was one about
that one.
Right?
The Life of Brian. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
The Catholic Family is my favorite in that one. They just keep pouring out of the little houses there.
Yeah.
I've
never seen The Holy Grail. I've only seen Life of Brian.
The Holy Grail has its scenes. It is, I would say it's a painful watch all the way through.
Okay.
Because it's okay for about the first probably 60 minutes. And then after that, you're just kind of like, ooh, we're just dragging through this to try and create some resolution.
Yeah.
And then The Meaning of Life. Meaning of Life is the one.
Meaning of Life.
Yes, is the one with the Catholic family and some of the other fun aspects of that. And I can't remember the fat man skit. I think it's The Meaning of Life. I think they go through this dig of like the 7 deadly sins. Okay. Which is interesting because
I'm looking at.
I know I'm kind of doing right now a study on the 7 deadly sins and trying to. It's interesting.
It is.
I'm going to talk about that in the episode.
All right. Yeah. We'll tackle that in episode 31.
So yeah, follow us there.
Yeah.
When we catch that Sunday. And I would say there's kind of this like. So we had that. We got St. Patrick's Day, and then 2 days ago, the 15th. Ted Lasso series.
I know it dropped,
man.
So it dropped.
We've not watched them yet, but it's going to be awesome. But
I love that.
We've been watching and getting caught up. We went back and re-watched them.
Yeah.
And dang, it's so good. It's so good.
I was recently in a seminar, and a guy had a Ted Lasso clip.
Nice.
During the seminar, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how stinking good Ted Lasso was. And it was the clip about when he and Rupert, the club owner's ex-husband, when he challenges Ted Lasso to play doggy.
Best. And one of the best.
Yeah.
There's so many good scenes.
Yeah. Oh man.
But that's
so good.
That's a great one.
I got goosebumps just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great scene.
You weren't curious. If they were curious, they would ask. Yeah. Like that whole and I'm curious. And I like that in my life of like I have a couple of groups that I work with where I'm like more curious, less curious.
Yeah.
Dallas Willard, a philosopher, theologian, said curiosity or judgment and wonder cannot coexist.
Sure.
And so if you step into that curiosity where you're willing to say, maybe there's something here that I don't know, you have to suspend that judgment. You have to kind of put it aside in order for you to kind of lean into the situation and say, inform me or tell me something that I wouldn't know otherwise about this situation, whatever it may be. Yeah. So I love that's a great scene.
Yeah, and the way that he worked it into his speech was like it was completely appropriate, because it was a workplace event. It was great the way.
But at a bar and
No. I meant the seminar that I was a part of was for work. And so but the guy using because I've never heard somebody not like Ted Lasso.
Right.
Like I've never come across. There are people I'm sure, but I've never heard someone go, that just wasn't for me.
think I want you in my orbit.
What's happening?
For real.
Right, yeah.
You must be the worst human in the world.
Oh my gosh, and I've never been a big Jason Sudeikis fan.
But he nails. I mean,
but I had a buddy who was like, no, that made me really like Jason. I was like, impossible. He's like, watch it. You were gonna, and I was like, okay, you got me. And then and now this is the Ted Lasso podcast. So like,
that's right.
During
fanboying over here
during the World Cup, the guy who plays Coach Beard, started a podcast with soccer fans will know Rebecca Lowe, who is she's the NBC face of European soccer, and so she and Coach Beard started this podcast called After the Whistle, all about the World Cup. Okay. And I will tell you, even though the World Cup's over, go back and listen to the first episode because it is so funny. The story, they go through the etiquette of if you're going to go to a World Cup watching party, there is a specific way that you need to enter the party, you need to interact with the host, and then they talk about an instance where England was in a cup final, and Rebecca, who's British, has friends just drop by because they heard commotion in the backyard. And like about them just ruining this party with their questions and all that stuff. Go back and listen to After the Whistle, just the first episode. The rest of it's all just recapping the World Cup, and it's funny. But and it made me love Coach Beard even that much more. And then him talking about watching the World Cup final in Chicago with his partner's father and her brother, and it was cool. Like just getting that extra exposure to that as a human, like the real person.
Yeah. I'm curious to see. I mean, the story arc of that series. You know how we got to Ted Lasso with St. Patrick's Day, but I'm not disappointed.
Yeah. Because it dropped 2 days ago.
But Nate, I'm really curious. Like that's certainly the biggest movement of the storyline, and actually a tragic one. And I hope there's something redemptive in that storyline because it's, like it was so hard to watch. Of like, are you trying to force this? And it was such a as we've gone through and watched it the second time, and as I'm watching that now in a place where you and I have done this podcast that talks about how daily we interact with our inner voices and our inner choices of choosing what's the best or the worst option for us, or how can I lean into the good, or how do I lean into the darker thoughts that are there? Like he really shows all the characters they show that, but he really shows that space of like, man, he leaned in his dark, right? The initial series, you just see these beautiful moments of him where he's
gaining confidence,
and then in that he kind of gets addicted to that. And then he's not getting enough of it. And his pride becomes that thing that he has to pursue in order to seek that recognition, and becomes destructive to himself and to others in that, and loses that innocence of just offering yourself freely for the sake of others. And
I love my wife laughed at me because I nerded out at the end, the last episode of season 2. Because I loved how they grayed his hair more and more. The bigger the stress got for him hiding hiding his iniquities and flirting with going to Rupert's Club. And then at the end, when it shows him walking out, you see the grayish hair and you know it's him, and it says Betway on the back. I yell at the TV, he went to effing West Ham! And my wife's just like, how do you know? And I was like, because Betway's West Ham sponsor. And she's like, oh, and then it turns and you see it's West Ham, and I'm like yelling, and I'm like, have fun at the Bubble Factory, and like, because their West Ham home stadium is their theme song is always blowing bubbles, and so when they score goals, like all these bubble machines come on. So some friends and I just cheekily call it the Bubble Factory. But I'm like, he went to the bubble, screw him. And then he went to work for me. Oh, I'm so mad. I was so mad.
The series is also, we've talked to Enneagram stuff on here. It's also a great depiction of the Enneagram types across the board. And it's fun to see that. And I've done a little bit of that in some of the training I've done, but just like, here's what this character looks like.
Football is live.
Exactly. Danny Rojas. I do have to say, though, as I've rewatched it the second time, I do see some beard qualities in you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
and I'm like, yeah, are we the Lasso beard?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm as witty and charming as Lasso.
I don't think I'm as sardonic and smart as Beard. So maybe we're like their ugly cousins.
We're the Goodwill versions of Ted Lasso and Beard. Yeah.
And they're American. So we're not even their ugly American cousins. We're just their ugly cousins.
No, good series though. It's one I started watching again the second time. We're good. We have about 5 minutes left.
Okay. I don't know where the timer is, and I don't know where you're starting. You've got a timer on there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, great. Welcome in.
We're trying to keep it 30 minutes. We know you got other things to do. I
got a long day of drinking ahead. St. Patty's Day.
As I started watching it the second time, like I just realized, man, there's so many good. And I actually started recording like, oh man, that's a training note. Like there are things in the coaching that I do that I'm like, oh, that's a good narrative and that's a good clip. And I think in the first episode I pulled out like 20 different things that I was.
Oh, sure. And
I was like, ooh,
a little heavy.
I'm going to do life coaching according to Ted Lasso. I'm going to a book series. Like, go watch the episode, and then here's your the work you can do.
Well, I also didn't realize Ted Lasso started like 8 or 9 years ago.
It was a skit on.
It was a skit to promote soccer, and they were living in Holland at the time.
Yeah.
And it was just this funny skit they did, and then they were like, really like that. Yeah.
I don't watch SNL. I never have because it's so late.
I did a lot growing up.
But do you watch any of their? I don't know if you follow any of their clips after the fact, like after it airs and they show like different skits and stuff.
No.
So there's a series on maybe Apple, The Last of Us. With Pedro.
Yes. Pedro. I think it begins with Pedro Pascal.
Okay. Yeah. So he hosted SNL a few weeks ago or whatever, but they did a Mario Kart movie where but it's a dark, like kind of utopian whatever, and it's like
a dystopian future.
Yes, it's kind of like I'd watch that. Like I would watch that all day.
That's
yeah.
I will say I've got a buddy's kid he played through The Last of Us, and then he and his dad watched it together. And
I hear it's great. I haven't seen it. It's on my.
They said the video game was 5 times better. They were like, and like his dad would sit and just watch him play the video game for the storyline.
Really?
He was like, because the storyline and the graphics and everything were so much more immersive in the game than the actual Pedro Pascal TV series. And I was like,
I can't figure out modern gaming to save my life.
I don't have 150 hours.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
We tried to change a setting on my son's Xbox account recently, and I spent 45 minutes and got nowhere. And I'm like, forget it. Like,
tit for tat, I can feel this pain because we recently switched. None of this matters. I had to update my Roku. A day and a half later, I got my Roku updated finally because it was. We cut cable and now we're using YouTube TV, and the Roku's old enough. It was like YouTube TV can't connect to this device, and I'm like, well, do I need to get a new Roku? And I was like, I'll just update the Roku and see if that does it.
Nope.
But then it's like updating settings, and I'm like, okay. So I worked from
home.
No,
they sent out a thing a few years ago that was like anything before I think 2018. We're not updating.
So
welcome to
the market for a new Roku.
Hold on to that.
Yeah, that's right.
I said, Heinz, I said, I'm going to say an old man statement, and I don't care. And I said, but back when we played video games, we just stuck it in the.
We just blew on the cartridge.
Yeah, and we put it in, and we played instantly. And this sitting around for waiting it to load and everything, I'm like, it's ridiculous. I have no, and I don't want to be married to it. I don't want to have to log in. Like, this is a relationship that I don't care to, but it's a way for them to make money.
And it's a way for the kids to connect with their friends during COVID. And
stupid.
Video games are dumb.
Stupid.
Happy St. Patty's Day. I hope you had a good one.
The Ted Lasso quote in there too, though, because Ted Lasso says, I tell myself that I don't like video games are bad for me, but it's something I enjoy so much. But I tell myself I don't, so that and he's like, and I should just let myself do it because I enjoy it. And I'm like, oh.
Not video games.
Can't get do something else, right? Yeah. Go be better, Ted. Hey, thanks for tuning in to this B-side of Sinner and Saint, and we'll see you on the regular episode on Sunday.
Bye, people.
Or that one.
Or